Hi, long time no see. So it's been like what, 2 years or so, I guess. New wall, new couch. Where do I begin? Let's see, when last we met, I had just gotten back from Japan to LA, made a few videos, and then basically disappeared off the face of the planet. So let me catch you up on what I've been doing and where I am now. So yeah, I got back from Japan, I made some videos, and then that was it. I had zero motivation to get anything done. Didn't feel like making videos anymore, which is weird because I took a ton of video, but I didn't actually edit or put anything together. Obviously didn't post anything. Just had absolutely no motivation to do anything without Seven, and I was just really upset. And I didn't go hiking, I didn't go traveling, I didn't really want to do anything. December 23, I had some nasal surgery done, so that knocked me out for all of December. Consider that canceled. Here's a quick example of how that went. I think bar none, the most nerve-wracking procedure I've ever had done. This is definitely something I think you should be out cold for. This has been my best friend. Normally I would use frozen peas, but Target didn't have any, so so corn it is. Thank you, Good and Gather. I'm sure it's super tasty, but today it's the best ice pack I could hope for. Yeah, so it took me like 6 weeks to recover. I ended up with I actually did end up with an infection. So that was that 103 fever. The doctors didn't even take me in for 2 weeks. So I ended up suffering for 2 weeks with a raging infection in my face. Fun. Negative 42 out of 10, do not recommend. Brings us into 2024, right? Okay, so New Year's rolls around, same old. I decide I'm going back to Japan because I miss my friends and there's some stuff I want to go do. So March of 24, I go back to Japan, spent 3 weeks there. Wonderful, fantastic. Got to see my friends, did a lot of stuff. Spent a night at a temple near Nara, between Osaka and Nara. Wonderful experience. Got back, wait. So while I was wandering around Kyoto, I went across some train tracks and my sneaker, the sole of the sneaker got stuck. I didn't realize that while I was walking. My shoe got stuck. I kept walking, my foot stayed behind. So I ended up rolling my foot and I fractured my foot and I messed up some tendons on top of that. So I was in a boot for 6 weeks and then in a brace to continue fixing the tendons for another 6 weeks. So there goes 12 weeks. That's 3 months gone. I didn't realize I'd fractured it until, when April. I had been back for well over a month, walking around on a fractured, on what I had no idea was a fractured foot. Doctor took one look at the x-rays. I finally went to the doctor because I was like, why is this bruise? Like, why does this keep swelling? This is really strange. I have a stupidly high pain tolerance, so things that bother me, I'm like, nah, this kind of feels a little funky, would probably have someone else on their face. So I finally go to the doctor, he takes an x-ray and he's like, Jen, how are you walking on this? And I said, what do you, I'm like, I don't know, I just am. What do you mean? He goes, look at this fracture. I'm like, oh, well, all right then. So I'm in a boot for 6 weeks, get the boot off, get another x-ray, beautiful, fracture's healed, spectacular, foot keeps swelling. Oh, that's weird. So he gives me a referral to like a foot and ankle specialist surgeon. Apparently this guy was a really big deal. So I'm like, thank you for seeing like little old me. So I go to the office and he's like, yeah, you did a good job. We'll put you in a brace for another 6 weeks. And if it doesn't heal, then you might need, we'll have to start talking about surgery and whatnot. But I got lucky. I wore the brace and it did the trick and my tendons healed. Okay, but walking uneven like that for like what, 12 weeks knocked something loose in my back, or knocked something out of place in my back, which caused my neck to seize and just, I was like, ah, and I couldn't turn my head. And it created so much pressure up the side of my neck and into my face and through my, through my head, that it shot over into my eye, and I was basically snowblind. The nerves were so compressed that I could barely see out of my eye for like a month, 6 weeks. Yeah, it was like, when you look at snow or sand too quickly, you get snowblind, like that whiteness. Okay, well, that was my entire eye. I could see, but it had this sheen of white over it. And I was getting like these, the only way I can describe it is fireflies, like these sparks just firing off in my eye. Yeah, so I ended up having to go for physical therapy for like months of physical therapy and being bombed out on steroids and Valium to try to unlock all the muscles in my neck. It's still not right. It still cracks, and I still have to do physical therapy to, like try to keep everything loose. So that nixed my entire summer because, I couldn't really drive. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't travel because I couldn't see. I mean, like, I could see. The doctors weren't like, oh, you can't drive. They were just like, be careful. I was in and out of UCLA neurology and ophthalmology like every 3 weeks, trying to figure out, okay, is this permanent? Am I going to have permanent vision loss? Is this a neurological problem? Like, what's going on here? They still don't really know what caused it. It's the guess that something was knocked out of place, but whatever. It seems to be fixed. My vision is fine. So then I started job hunting. At that point it was like post a year and a half of losing 7, and I realized I didn't have anything holding me in the US anymore, and I lived in Japan for just under 11 years, and I was really happy there. So I started job hunting. I think you can see where this is going. And I got a job, and I decided, okay, you know what? The visa came through, I packed everything up, and I left LA. So I decided to move back to Japan. So yeah, I've just been trying to get the house set up, and it's still a bit of a hot mess of boxes because, hold on, I knew I forgot something. My shoulder's out. September of 24, I went and got a flu shot, and instead of putting it in the muscle of my arm, she dumped it into the joint and caused bursitis. Good job. And then I went to an orthopedist. He gave me a shot. He was like, wow, dang, you're swollen. So he gave me a shot of cortisone in the back of my shoulder, and that fixed it. And then February of this year, it went out again. So it's been out for 8 months now. Little by little, it's getting better. It's definitely not 100%. So it's kind of hard to unpack boxes and assemble furniture and get all that done, when you only have like 40% mobility. I should be done within the next few weeks, and then I'll be able to give you a house tour. But I have been doing some fun things. Back in May, I went and saw some flowers near Mount Fuji, which was really nice. So that's it. Yokoso. Welcome to, I guess, my new-ish channel. I may or may not get a dog again in the future. Still really trying to get over 7. I know it's been over 2.5 years, but that dog is still my heart and soul, and I just can't bring myself to get another one right now. But never know what the future will bring. Maybe I'll find another little guy who's in need of a home. I'll try to get back to like regular posting. It may be a little sporadic for a while until I really get settled in, but yeah, I think this is me coming back. I hope. Yeah, and as soon as I get rid of all the cardboard boxes and all the nonsense, I will be setting up a house tour. I guess this is me coming back. See you soon. Bye.